900 million people used ChatGPT last week. Not last year. Last week. That's more than the entire population of Europe, logging in, typing prompts, getting answers. And here's the part that made me stop scrolling: while most of those people are using it to write emails or summarize articles or ask what to make for dinner, a small percentage figured out something the rest haven't. They realized that the gap between knowing how to use this thing and knowing how to use it well is worth actual money. Serious money. I spent the last 2 months tracking down people who went from 0 to 5 figures a month using nothing but ChatGPT and a laptop. What I found genuinely surprised me. Welcome back to Zero Index. Let's talk about what's actually happening right now, because the window on this is smaller than most people think. So I want to be honest with you about something. When I first started researching this, I expected to find a lot of hype and very little substance. The internet is full of people claiming they made 6 figures from their couch, and usually when you dig in, it falls apart. But the numbers here are different, and they're verifiable. OpenAI crossed $25 billion in annualized revenue in February. They're generating roughly $2 billion a month. And here's the detail that actually matters for people like us: 92% of Fortune 500 companies are now paying ChatGPT customers. Not experimenting. Not running pilots. Paying. What does this mean for you? It means there's a massive institutional demand for AI-related skills, and most of the people who could fill that demand don't realize they could. The market isn't saturated. It's barely begun. Businesses need content, they need automation, they need someone who can actually make these tools do useful things. And they're paying premium prices because they don't know how to do it themselves yet. That gap, that's where the money is. Let me tell you about something I found genuinely fascinating. There's a marketplace called PromptBase where people sell ChatGPT prompts. Just prompts. Text. Instructions. And the top sellers are making over $1,500 a month selling prompts priced between $3 and $15 each. I looked at some of these prompts, and here's the thing nobody talks about: they're not magic. They're just well-structured. They understand what ChatGPT responds to, how to frame requests to get consistent output, how to build in variables so buyers can customize them. I tested this myself. Spent about a week crafting prompts for specific use cases: real estate listing descriptions, product photography direction, email sequences for course launches. Nothing revolutionary, just useful. And the ones that sold weren't the clever ones. They were the boring ones. The ones that solved an obvious, repeatable problem for a specific type of buyer. The question nobody's asking is, why isn't everyone doing this already? And the answer is most people don't think their knowledge is worth selling. They assume someone smarter has already done it. But the market keeps proving otherwise. Now here's where it gets interesting. Because selling prompts is one thing, but I talked to people charging $75 to $250 an hour to do AI consulting. Not building apps. Not writing code. Just auditing workflows and implementing ChatGPT-based systems for businesses that have no idea where to start. One person I spoke with, she was a marketing manager at a mid-size company, nothing special, her words not mine. She learned how to use custom GPTs to automate her own team's content calendar. Then she realized other marketing teams had the same problem. Now she charges $150 an hour to set up similar systems for other companies. She books about 20 hours a week. You can do the math. Most people stop here, which is a mistake. Because the real insight isn't that she found a skill gap. It's that the businesses hiring her don't actually need the automation. They could learn to do it themselves. But they won't. They don't have the time, they don't have the interest, and more importantly, they don't trust themselves to get it right. So they pay someone who projects confidence and competence. That's the product. Not the system. The certainty. I want to talk about the numbers on courses because this is where the scale becomes real. The average course creator in this space, and I'm talking specifically about people teaching ChatGPT-related skills, makes between $5,400 and $8,200 a month. That's not outliers. That's averages. And here's what surprised me. The courses that sell best aren't the most comprehensive. They're the most specific. How to use ChatGPT for real estate agents beats the complete AI masterclass every single time. Because specificity signals expertise. It tells the buyer you understand their exact problem, not just the general technology. I tested creating a small digital product myself, just a bundle of templates for using ChatGPT to write LinkedIn content. Took me about 12 hours total. Priced it at $27. Sold 43 copies in the first month without any real promotion, just some posts in relevant groups. That's $1,100 from something I can sell again and again with zero additional work. Now scale that. Multiple products. Better marketing. Email lists. You see where this goes. This is the part that genuinely changed how I think about this whole opportunity. Traffic referred from ChatGPT converts at 16%. Google organic traffic. 1.8%. That's nearly 9 times higher. Let me say that again because it matters. When someone clicks a link that ChatGPT suggests, they're almost 9 times more likely to buy, sign up, or take action than someone who finds you through Google. Why? Because ChatGPT answered their question. It built trust. By the time they reach you, they're not browsing. They're ready. So what does this mean for you? If you can figure out how to get ChatGPT to recommend your product, your service, your content, you're playing a different game than everyone fighting for Google rankings. And right now, most people haven't figured this out. The playbook isn't written yet. I keep coming back to timing. Because everything I've described works today, in this exact moment, partly because most people haven't caught on yet. Businesses are still paying premium prices for skills that will eventually become commoditized. The tools are mature enough to be useful but new enough that expertise feels rare. GPT-4o works. Custom GPTs work. You can build genuinely useful products without writing a single line of code. That wasn't true 2 years ago. And 2 years from now, everyone will know how to do this, which means margins compress, competition increases, and the window closes. The people who move now are building client relationships, portfolios, authority, recurring revenue. They're becoming the established names in their niches. The ones who wait will enter a crowded market where they have to work harder for less. I'm not saying this to create panic. I'm saying it because I've watched it happen in every previous technology cycle. The early movers don't always have the best skills. They just have the best timing. And they compound that advantage month after month until everyone else is fighting for scraps. Right now, the beginner's path is clear. First $100 to $500 within weeks through digital products. Then scale to $1,000, $5,000, more by building multiple revenue streams. The playbook exists. The demand exists. The tools exist. The only question is whether you'll use them while the window's still open. Look, the next year is going to separate people who watched this happen from people who made it happen. If you want to stay ahead of what's actually working in AI and technology, subscribe to Zero Index. We'll keep breaking this down as it evolves. I'll see you in the next one.